In the sprawling, vibrant heart of Lagos, Nigeria, lived a young boy named Adebayo. His home wasn't a grand villa, but a humble, tin-roofed house in a crowded neighborhood where the scent of spicy jollof rice and the sound of Fela Kuti's music always filled the air. Life was tough. His father was a hard-working carpenter, his hands calloused and worn, and his mother sold roasted plantains by the roadside, her smile a beacon of warmth despite their daily struggles. Adebayo was the eldest of four, and from a young age he understood that their dreams were often bigger than their pockets. He would watch the other kids with their new school shoes and fancy lunchboxes with a quiet longing. His own school uniform was faded and patched, his sandals held together by sheer will and a bit of wire. Sometimes his stomach would rumble in class, a hollow drum reminding him of the breakfast they couldn't afford. It would have been easy to feel defeated, to let the weight of poverty crush his spirit. But Adebayo had a fire in his eyes, a hunger that wasn't just for food, but for knowledge. His classroom was simple, with a cracked chalkboard and not enough textbooks to go around. But for Adebayo, it was a sanctuary. It was a portal to a world beyond the dusty streets of his neighborhood. He devoured every word his teacher spoke, every problem scrawled on the board. After school, while his friends played football in the street, Adebayo would head to the local community library. It was a small, stuffy room, but to him it was a treasure chest. He'd spend hours there, losing himself in stories of faraway lands, scientific discoveries, and the biographies of great men and women who had started with nothing, just like him. These books became his mentors. They taught him that his circumstances didn't have to define his destiny. He started to see his world not as a cage, but as a challenge. He learned to be resourceful. When he needed a book he couldn't find at the library, he'd borrow notes from a classmate and spend the night meticulously copying them by the dim light of a kerosene lamp, his fingers smudged with ink. He saw his parents' relentless hard work not as a sign of failure, but as a testament to their love and resilience. Their sacrifice fueled his determination. His father, despite his own exhaustion, would often sit with him late at night. He couldn't help with the complex math problems, but he would tell Adebayo stories of their ancestors, of their strength and ingenuity. "You have the blood of kings and builders in your veins, my son," he'd say, his voice a low, comforting rumble. "Your mind is your greatest tool. Sharpen it well." His mother would save the best piece of plantain for him, a small, loving gesture that spoke volumes. "For my little professor," she would say, her eyes shining with pride. Their belief in him was the wind beneath his wings. It wasn't just his family either. The community saw his spark. The librarian, a kind-faced woman named Mrs. Chidinma, would set aside new books for him. The tailor who mended his uniform would often refuse payment, saying, "Just make us proud, Adebayo." These small acts of kindness woven together created a safety net of support that held him up when he felt like falling. High school was even more challenging. The fees were a constant source of worry. To help his family, Adebayo started a small business. He would wake up before dawn, help his mother set up her stall, and then he would use his knack for fixing things, a skill he learned from his father, to repair broken electronics for his neighbors. A faulty radio here, a broken fan there. He'd charge a small fee, every single naira going towards his school fees and textbooks. He was balancing a full-time job, his chores, and his studies. He was tired, often running on just a few hours of sleep. But he never complained. His goal was too bright to be dimmed by exhaustion. His hard work paid off. When the final exam results were released, a wave of excitement swept through the neighborhood. Adebayo hadn't just passed. He had excelled, achieving one of the highest scores in the entire state. The news spread like wildfire. People who had watched him grow up, the ones who had seen him studying under the streetlights, they all celebrated as if the victory was their own. His parents wept with joy, their faces a beautiful mix of relief and overwhelming pride. This achievement opened a door he had only ever dreamed of, a scholarship to study engineering at one of Nigeria's top universities. Leaving his family was the hardest thing he had ever done. He hugged his mother, father, and siblings goodbye, his heart heavy but full of hope. He promised them he would make their sacrifices worthwhile. University was a different world. He was surrounded by students from wealthy families with their laptops, new clothes, and easy confidence. For a moment, Adebayo felt like an imposter. He felt small and out of place. But then he remembered his father's words, "Your mind is your greatest tool." He focused on his studies with the same intensity he always had. He joined study groups, wasn't afraid to ask questions, and quickly earned the respect of his professors and peers with his sharp intellect and unwavering work ethic. He never forgot where he came from. During the holidays, he would return to his neighborhood, not with arrogance, but with humility. He would spend his time tutoring the younger children, helping them with their homework in the same community library where his own journey began. He started a small fund with his scholarship money and earnings from part-time jobs to buy textbooks and school supplies for the kids who needed them most. He wanted to be for them what Mrs. Chidinma and so many others had been for him, a source of support and inspiration. Years passed. Adebayo graduated with first-class honors. Job offers poured in from prestigious companies, both in Nigeria and abroad. He accepted a position with a leading engineering firm in Lagos. His first major project was designing affordable and sustainable housing solutions for low-income communities. It was more than a job, it was his calling. He was using his hard-won knowledge to build a better future for people just like his own family. The day he moved his parents into a new, comfortable house, a house he had designed and built, was a day of pure, unadulterated joy. There were no more leaking roofs, no more crowded rooms. His mother had a modern kitchen, and his father had a proper workshop for his carpentry. As he watched them explore their new home, their faces filled with wonder and gratitude, Adebayo knew that every single moment of struggle had been worth it. Adebayo's story isn't just about escaping poverty. It's a story about the power of education, the strength of community, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It's a reminder that where you start in life doesn't have to determine where you finish. With a dream, a lot of hard work, and the support of those who believe in you, anything is possible. Adebayo from the small tin-roofed house became Adebayo the engineer, the builder, the hope of his community, and his journey continues to inspire a new generation to look beyond their circumstances and reach for the stars. Thank you so much for watching. If Adebayo's story touched you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a little inspiration today. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that uplift and empower. See you in the next one.